with his bird's eye view and a brain to match, is Mr. Know-It-All.
Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where and when you're watching this broadcast. I'm Thomas Fessa, my friends, and this is Disclosure Tonight. Happy Friday, August 28th. Holy cow, where did the month of August go? What happened to all those disclosure dots? What happened to all the drops we were supposed to get? Yeah, it didn't happen. In the meantime, let's go ahead and welcome in our audience. We've got a lot of stuff for us to not talk about today. Let's go ahead and take a look and see who we got there out in the chat. Wow. Look who's out there. Well, at the top of the chat is not the Greasy Weasel. He has gone missing. Got to welcome in 56 Bel Air. We got April and Aussie. Banana Bowie's out there along with Bradley and Chief Von Beef. We got Chris and Daily Saging Donna. Would you look at that? We got Double Helix. Dusty Gee is out there along with Eliza Teal and Elvis Roten. Good to see you, Firefly, along with Francis Tremblay and Galactic Family Podcast, also known as Jay in the back. How about that? Geraldine Durazio is here along with J Cat Meow, Jay Fowler, and of course, Kelly Broughton, those piercing blue eyes. They're really blue, I tell you, like the sky. Who else we have out there? We got Kiwi DJ, Larry Sanders. Good to see you, my friend. Or Sandell, there you go. Laura Campbell's out there along with Lori G. We got Max Metal Gaming, Mississippian, Mr. Joey B. OJ, good to see you, my friend. Love that love that white truck ears, my friend. Who else we have out there? We've got Psychosomatic Insane. We got Roni Deal Rock Odie Boyce. Good to see you, Sandy Thing. We got Scooby Dooby Gooby along with Scott Fletcher. Schloto, good to see you, along with Stank Buns. I'll never get over that one. Stargazer's out there along with Steve Mateo, Supercharged Land Cruiser, Super Unknown, and the Sweaty Nerd. We got the Thrustmaster, Wishbone. Good to see you, Wolf Dog. Yankee 5858, and our dear friend Yellow Tommy Tanker, also known as Andy. How about that? I made it to the end, and we got there. So, did you miss us yesterday? Yeah, I took the day off. There wasn't a lot of stuff going on. We still have our two cohorts here. Mike and Daryl are still off on vacation land, leaving me to go ahead and keep this thing going solo for a period of time. Yeah, it's a quiet week. It's the end of summer. Oh, does it have to end so soon? The weather's been so nice, but it's been turning lately, folks. I can feel those chills of winter not too far away. What a day. What a day. Hopefully we'll have a good time, come together for some national security. When you hear that magic word, folks, that means yes. Go ahead, raise your glass, whether you're drinking water or your water or your Jesus turning it into wine or enjoying your favorite libation. That means when you hear national security means take a drink. There we go. On that note, let's take a look in the back and see who the hell we've got back there. Well, would you look? Well, yeah, Friday Night Disclosure, recap of the week. But who we got back there? It's the Sweaty Nerd Man is back.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? What's going on, Thomas? What's going on?
Not much.
Everybody in the front chat. Not much.
Oh, we've got some stuff to get onto.
I've got some stuff to get onto.
There's an echo, Sweaty. Did you get it taken care of? I think so. Yeah, we've got some stuff to get into and things to cover for the week. Yeah, it's been an interesting one to say the least. You know, I guess we can go. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. No.
Your camera's off for the back chat, Thomas.
Oh, sorry. Well, no, it isn't. It's on.
No, his camera's on. It's you.
Oh, it's true.
It's you, sir. It's true. It's true.
Yes, I'm sorry.
It's me.
Yeah, it's you.
I got it now.
You.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll get hit for this, but we'll show it anyway. Small little video here. I think if I do it this way and I hide it within the actual show itself, we can actually go ahead and show it. This is just a little funny video that I saw over on X. Let's go ahead and play this. What has she found? Oh, no. Oh, no, not mine. No. Don't leave, please. Wah, wah.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Yeah. He's the one who the panties belong to. Well, either way, she made a good choice on leaving good old Ken off to the side of the road. All right, let me get that out of here. It doesn't belong there. It belongs. There we go. There's our chat. I know we got to start with something funny. Let's go ahead and find the chat and get up here. Put on the auto chat for that matter. Be nice, everybody. All right. Yeah, great clips of the nuke of the eclipse in New York. It was clear here. Well, I believe I have a picture of a moon. I can show the pictures of the moon that are the moon, but I can't show the pictures that were a moon that weren't the moon. You know what I mean?
The moon.
The moon. Yeah. Where is it at? Daryl. All right. This is the eclipse. Let me coming in. Where's it? Barbados or somewhere like that?
Yep.
Somewhere where there's an island and he's surrounded by Victoria's Secrets models, as it was described. Hanging out for a wedding. Or this is the pre-wedding party, you'd call it. Where is that at? Desktop guest, Thomas, video full, Thomas. All right, here you go. Here is the moon last night. Coming to us. It was 96% eclipse of the moon with clouds and stuff going around it, but this was captured from the island. It just goes to show you, holy cow, if you see the moon out there and different things that are going on, it really comes down to the sky coverage you have, and if you've got, and go ahead and see the stars. Is that actually the stars I'm seeing? No, those are just the dots on my monitor.
That's a blood moon, right?
Yeah, it's a blood moon, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it's a blood moon wearing a yarmulke. It is. I would. That's not bad. I would say that's what it is.
The moon.
So I think that's the one. Yeah, we got that one. And let's now get off to UFO land. So let's get back to X. We'll get to some of these other pictures in a bit. We saw that one. All right. We did cover this. I'll get to the UFO news in a second, folks. This is just going through my feed. If we've got, remember we covered the horrible floods that happened in between Nepal and Tibet, and they're bracing for more because there is a dam that's formed where this glacial lake is, and it's gotten back up, and it's got 2 million gallons more than it had when it broke the first time. So yeah, they're not going to do so good there next time this breaks, but. Check this out. Whoever built this house deserves a fucking medal. Everything around this thing is going to go ahead and collapse. And this is the only house in the area that's really holding up. And I swear this guy probably put concrete pylons 20 feet into the ground at least to keep it there. You've got some other shelters around it off to the side. You've got some passenger vehicles, not sure if they're empty or not, floating around right in front here. You got a bus kind of going on. And then some people are partying out on and not really just glad to be alive, hanging out. This structure, it's like a garage off to the side, or another structure, maybe outdoor kitchen, is getting ready to go as well. So it was a crazy event. We covered it on Thursday night, not too long after it happened.
Yeah. Treasure that stuff, man.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of those things you see and people are just screaming what's going on. It's just been a horrible, mind-boggling event going on. But you wonder, right? When they talk about Atlantis being wiped away in 2 days in a flood, and there's nothing left for it. I've got some other pictures to kind of go ahead and show the examples of how everything in the path of this torrential water and mud and rocks and everything just freaking went away.
Yeah, they showed the model the other day when they had got more information on what happened. Yeah. And there's a model of this tragic thing happened. Apparently a glacier from the top of the mountain, whatever mountain it was on, it smacked down into.
What happened was a glacier broke at the top of the mountain, hit the lake, clogged the thing up a bit, and all the water backed up behind it, and eventually that ice dam broke.
Yeah. It's like equivalent to like if you take a bowling ball or a heavy ball and you drop it in a bucket of water and all the water just splashes out. That's the same thing happens here. Like the glacier hit the lake and it just splashed out and just We've got a message though from Pho King Good Food. Vietnamese and Chinese cuisine. We not see your cat. Stop asking. Try our chicken pho. It's perfect. No, we get off that chicken.
All right. I know. Okay. Remember that one building we thought survived and all the other buildings went around it? No.
Oh,
Check
wow.
that out. Before and
And
after. Before and after. Everything was completely wiped out.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
Although this is what's suggested, it could be potentially with AI, and it may not be that way in case YouTube wants to go ahead and go after us. So I'll throw that out there. But it's coming from OSINT Technical, which is usually a pretty good, reputable source.
Yeah.
In case it isn't, but it still just shows you, look how much was freaking wiped out in a matter of seconds. Yeah. All right. Now, getting back to the world of UFOs for a second, the Disclosure Foundation appeared with Stephen Diner. Diner. D-I-E, Diner? I think so. With Stephen Diner, with Jordan Flowers, who's the executive director of the Disclosure Foundation, discusses a potentially significant reading of the law that requirements of UAP, the transfer of UAP records to the National Archives. So let's get into this video here, which I know everyone likes to watch, and when we don't have a lot of stuff to cover,
Okay.
it's better to have
into it.
Oh, we'll get into it. Absolutely. All right. Show this one. I don't know if it's too soon or not, but they've said they're going to be today. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee and Nashville International Airport announced their intent to name B&A in order of Dolly Parton. Apparently, they've got the D and the triple D concourses, or double D. Okay, let's get back to Jordan Flowers. We're trying to have fun here today. It's Good Friday. Got to celebrate the week. All right, here we go.
There's a really interesting read of this sort of National Archives like record production statute. And when typically when there's records requests, they're agency records. So that means like government agencies are required to produce information. But when you actually read the statute, it says in the statute, not agency records. It says records from government-funded projects, like in operations. So we have a pretty incredible like legal team as part of our organization, and some sharp minds pointed this out.
Which that legal team in the past used to contain Ivan Hanel. And that's where Lou met Ivan was through Disclosure Foundation, just saying, along with Matt Ford. So
recently. And so what does that mean? Well, it means that it's not only that, if read in plain language, it means that not only should, agencies like, NASA or, the CIA or the DIA or whatever it is, provide their UAP records to the National Archive as part of this legislation, but also any government funded initiatives. You know where government funding is right in the name? Federally funded research and development centers.
Right. Here's the thing. Rarely does Congress ever follow up on any of the laws or sections of the laws or any of the points or the subpoints or the paragraphs, etc. If you look at what RO was supposed to do, Sweaty, and what RO actually delivered, two completely different things. Now, I don't know if potentially the Disclosure Foundation might be able to take a lawsuit against the FFRDCs, like the MITRE Corporation, who have like stuff from the 50s on videos that they don't want to give up. Maybe they can, but it may have to come from Congress themselves. So be interesting to see if an external corporation and a nonprofit, I should say, can sue a company. It's going to cost them a lot of money to get there, even though they do have lawyers, to go ahead and actually compel them to bring forward information they're refusing. You understand where I'm coming from, Sweaty? It's a catch-22 solution.
Yeah, it is. It's a catch-22 all day. I mean, eventually, like they're going to have to, come out and release some stuff, but then again, how much of it is national security.
Hmm.
So
yeah,
And that's where eminent domain comes in from the government.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right, John.
You would have to get the DOJ to go ahead and try and enforce that, right?
Yeah. They did the other way. I mean, unless they got something in their back pocket, they can pull that on.
Exactly. All right, let's continue on with this video clip. Here we go.
That's the one.
And so there's been a lot of great work done recently on how these FFRDCs are involved in this. I think, UAP Gerb had one on MITRE recently. And there's been others as well. In Lincoln Labs, right? There was a letter sent by Representative Burleson to Lincoln Labs for production, preservation and production of information from Lincoln Labs. These organizations are significant players, we believe, in this, constellation of government activity on UAP. And I don't think any of them are realizing, and certainly no one is currently enforcing, that we think this legislation actually includes them under the purview of records production to NARA of UAP information. That's something I want to, sort of talking about that for the first time here. I want to shine a bright light on that. And we're going to try and work on a policy paper soon to shore up this argument from a legal perspective, make sure we have our I's dotted and our T's crossed.
No, you're supposed to cross
on this legal read.
No, you're supposed to cross your I's and dot your T's. Come on.
And then socialize that with partners in Congress, and then see what other potential legal and enforcement actions may be available for production of this information. And it might not just be FFRDCs. I think, as read in plain language, government funded, it's going to be a tough one to argue that FFRDCs aren't involved there, but there's an even further argument that some of the programs themselves at the defense primes could fall under this. So that it requires a little bit more. Again, that's a little bit more speculative, but I mean, that's something that we intend to put pen to paper to over the near term, and we'll be excited to sort of share our read on that.
Interesting to see. I guess it's going to come down to, is the government going to be able to go ahead and compel them to bring out the truth? And that's the big question.
Yep. All day.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to find right now. There's a document here. We'll find it. I'm just getting this set up for the next one of what's being seen. All right, let's go ahead and move on from this one here. We got that one taken care of. We talked about that one there. All right, President Trump is expected to rename the San Andreas Fault to Joe Biden's fault. All right, this one's an interesting one coming in space weather news. This is actually coming in from Mars. NASA just released this insane new image of Mars. Yes, those are real clouds on Mars, 250 million miles away from us. These are not just any clouds. These are extremely rare iridescent clouds seen for the first time ever on the alien planet. And wow, that does look like an alien image to me, if you ever asked. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
Like that color.
They almost look like those noctilucent clouds that we get here in the United States. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on from that one. Wait a minute. We got another one for our friends up in Canada. We're officially going to be renaming Ontario to Dontario. We'll cover that one and that one in a bit. Yes, and our next one. This one is actually true. Trump signed an executive order today about NASA creating a West Point-style National Academy for the U.S. Space Force. So we're getting our first Space Force Academy. How about that? Man. Who would have thought? Yeah, it's about time.
Starfleet Academy.
Yeah, it's the start of Starfleet, man.
Where we go with no man going before. Here we go.
I know. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that would ever happen? Yeah, I said today at August 28th, 2026 at the Johnson Space Center. President Trump signed the executive order creating a NASA-led United States Space Academy. A 128-day commission now designs the curriculum, location, and service commitment, free tuition. Graduates feed NASA civilian programs and Space Force slots. How about that? This lands the same day that the Artemis II crew received a Congressional Medal of Honor.
Oh, man.
Honoring after their April 10th flight past the moon. An entire academy built to produce the next operators, engineers, and leaders for what is already being tracked beyond low Earth orbit. What curriculum will they write when the phenomena they will train? What curriculum do they write when the phenomena they will train against still officially has no name? So how about that? Very interesting to say the least. Congratulations to the first people who are going to get into this, but it shows, the eyes of the country continue to be more spaceward bound than pretty much any other free country in the world, to say the least.
You know what? I would like to hear from an actual official or someone that's in the Space Force, and to dive deep a little bit into what they're really training for. I mean, I know we're not going to get it, but
it sounds like they're going to be training for the missions to the moon and potentially the Mars down the road. They're going to need construction people. They're going to need doctors. They're going to need everything up there. Janitors. They're going to need the whole kit and caboodle. Maintenance people, in addition to geologists and all different types of people to go ahead and be there to help them build this, what they want to call a perpetual presence on the moon.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, should be a good one. Mm-hmm. All right, we've got another executive order.
Okay.
Okay, we're having fun with it today, folks. There's more of these coming. Here we go.
Finally, sir, in this executive order, we're also changing the name of the Canada geese as per your request. They will now be known throughout the world as Donald Ducks, which is a more suiting name, given that they now live in Lake America and not Canada with the rest of those losers. Donald Ducks are now an American species, and they're already happily migrating to our shores as we speak.
I am done with the country, bro. I'm done. I'm done. I am so fucking done.
What do you mean?
What the fuck, yo?
It's a joke, my friend. It's not real.
Oh, I'm about to say, listen. That would be something that he would do. That would be something that he would do.
It's just to goat the people up in Canada.
I know what I'm saying. As petty as he is.
Donald Ducks, yeah. All right, here we go. Let's play a little bit more.
And finally, sir, in this executive order, we're also changing the name of the Canada geese as per your request. They will now be known throughout the world as Donald Ducks, which is a more suiting name, given that they now live in Lake America and not Canada with the rest of those losers. Donald Ducks are now an American species, and they're already happily migrating to our shores as we speak. And finally, sir.
All right, there we go.
I don't see him doing that, bro.
Oh, I know. You just got to have fun with it. All right, so we do have a clip here. Trump actually is signing the executive order somewhere thereafter, kind of getting into it. We've had making fun of him. Let's hear how he's actually, taking United States into the space age. Well, I guess we could call this the golden age of space exploration.
Yeah.
Notice they keep Jared off to the side, Isaacman off to the side, so they don't show his ears.
Yeah, because, the vampire.
Gotta pick a good one. Pick a good pen.
History in the making, folks. Whether you like him or not, he's doing it. And it's not an auto pen either.
No.
That's a good one.
I get real happy when we get that pen off.
Very much. I think he deserves it, right? Okay.
Good stuff.
Not for disclosure, folks. That's classified.
Okay, he's so happy. I tell you, Donald Trump. Donald Trump on his head.
Now he gives away the expensive pens.
Yeah, he does.
And souvenirs.
Give them out to somebody. We'll go over here.
He's like, oh, shit, I got a Donald Trump pen. Ooh. What's up? Yeah, if you think there's astronauts in them bombs.
No, he's going to go over and do his speech and talk to the people over in space somewhere. All right, let's move on. Well, we've talked about missing Jeremy Corbell, what the hell happened to Annapolina Luna? The UA champion has gone quiet. Yes, Representative Annapolina Luna last posted about it, a new UAP file drop on August 7th, 2026, calling it the fifth tranche. By August 24th, she's introduced the Foreign Propaganda Disclosure Act to put paid influencers under FARA. June, still had her disclosure form talking whistleblower immunity and locations of craft. File releases kept rolling. The public-facing NHI push does not. When the person who chairs the declassification task force spends August on foreign paid creators instead of the next video set, what does that tell you about where disclosure actually sits? You know where it sits right now? We didn't get shit this morning, did we, audience?
No. I mean, that doesn't mean that she's not doing her job on disclosure. You know, I mean, like, people have to understand, like, it's not like she can actually go out there and put out, you know, the trunks and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of she got to wait for it. So, I mean, but that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's about. So what happened to Luna? Is she just letting it roll when she's on vacation, or is she now taking more of a back seat as is? And I hope that doesn't go on, because she was on vacation, but she also, you know, is the chairman of this task force that either, irrespective if you're on vacation or not, you're still the chairman of this because you wanted to have it instead of good old Timmy, and you got it. So let's hope something can happen coming out of this.
Yeah, next week. I think we get something next week. It's been about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks.
It's been 3 weeks at this point, but hey, that does give us a good opportunity to go ahead and have a survey. Let's go ahead and do this. I can probably set it up a little pretty quick here. I want to go ahead and start a poll. Let's go ahead and show the audience as I write this in full transparency to our members of the audience. Let's, when will, okay. The next UFO
is next Thursday.
Files drop is
next week or the follow or
next week. 2 weeks.
Or 4 weeks.
4+ weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. You know, it's having too many answers always screws with the audience too much. Let's go ahead and see where that can go. And on that note, let me go ahead and move the mic a little bit closer.
I think it's next week.
Mouth. We'll see where it goes and start that music.
It's been about 3 weeks now.
By the sound of that, hold on. By the sound of that music, folks, that means we've got a survey going here today. Okay, Google, set a timer for 2 minutes, please.
Sure, 2 minutes. And we're starting now.
There we go. It's talking. It's setting it. We've got a minute 55 left to go. Would you look at that out of the gate? We've got next week coming out in first by not that much. 2 weeks is almost there. We're about 12 points difference between it. 3 weeks is in last place, followed by 4 weeks in third place. So next week seems to be the answer that everybody's going for, with just a minute and 32 seconds left to go. We've got 76 votes in.
76 votes? I said, at first it was 72, now it's 76 votes.
76 votes. It's going up with a minute 22 left to go. We got 78 votes. It's slowing down a little bit. Let's see if we can get to 80. Yeah, I'll hit 80. We'll hit 90 votes, hopefully, with a minute left to go. Maybe we'll hit that elusive number of 100 that Daryl always likes to hit. He'd be proud. All right, so 45%, 46% still next week, which at this point, there is over a 15 percentage point lead for next week. And I don't think there's any way there's no way the 2 weeks is going to be able to catch up with just 56 seconds left to go. We're already 88 votes in, which means the majority of the voters on this channel, unless you surprise me greatly, have already voted. The lead continues up to 48%. With 44 seconds left to go, 94 votes in. My God, we are going to hit.
50, guys.
We're going to hit 100 votes. How about that? 98 votes in. Wow, I think we get there.
100 votes.
That's almost 1/3 of our audience, which is 32 seconds left to go. Can we get past that and get towards literally 1/3 of our audience?
Can we get 50% on that next week vote?
Oh boy, 50%. It's up by 25 points almost. Can we get it to next week to 50%? Come on, folks. Come on. We just got 19 seconds left to go now. 17 seconds. If we can just go ahead,
we got the 50.
Get up to 50 and 102. There we go. 102 votes in. It's going down, going back up again. It's going to pop up to 105 before 9 seconds left. 103 seconds. Let's go ahead at 102. I guess my talking too fast here is going to scare the audience away, but just 3, 2,
51%.
1.
Bam.
106 votes in. There we go.
108 votes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The audience has spoken. Now, just for a little clue here, you know what the two things are that I use Google Home for the most? Besides playing a song, asking it, what's the weather? And also asking it to set a timer. It works. All right.
It works.
Yeah. So hopefully, we'll get something to pop up in next week. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? One of the last weeks of summer, we'd actually get a drop of UFO files. I hope so, unless everyone's on vacation, but goddamn. Let's take it back to live chat, hide that away, and see where we're going at next. Okay, so I need to go find this. Coming from UAP Luigi, who's been on the show in the past. If you're out there, Luigi, join in, please. We'd love to have you back again. I have to go ahead and hide this little thing here for provided by. Let's get into it. I posted this 18 hours ago, 14 hours before old sex toy salesman Greenwald from the Black Vault. Follow me for tomorrow's news today. Yes, I thought this could be it, and a public saw the estimate of the situation doctor from 1948 that concluded UFOs were interplanetary extraterrestrial. The document, with the same name, title, and year as a rumored goldmine for UFO history buffs, was slated to be released per a few references I've seen in the past. Excitement to see if the new document was released, and it was, and I need to look for, oh, fucking A, God damn it. Okay, it's big. I can see good with my eyes. I just have to look for spheroid underlined. No. Nope, not there. Violence, movement, Soviet troops. People, army, economic crisis approaches, general knots, trainers, Charlotte's, services, capabilities, airport, Malaysia. Here we go. Ding, 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 ding. Here we go. So yes, there is a document back from let's turn our clocks back to 1948. When we have a document called the Estimate of the Situation. This has been a long rumored document that everyone said it doesn't exist. But wait, there's more. It does exist. So this goes back to spheroid airborne objects sighted over Alaska on July 9th. Hold on. Let me do it. Let me do it this way first. I want to print screen. I want to take a capture of that. And I'm going to bring it over here. And now I can select it. There we go. Make it easier for us all to see. Spheroid air... There we go. Spheroid airborne objects sighted over Alaska on July 9th. Two officers... Yes, officer. Now I'm fine. Officers of the 72nd Reconnaissance fishing at a fielding lake sighted a group of unidentified objects whose appearance and behavior were reminiscent of last year's, quote, flying disc, unquote, encounters. Weather at the time was bright and sunny with some stratocumulus clouds. The objects resembled a group of dots. Wait a minute. This is the first accounting we have of disclosure dots. Grayish black in color and numbering about 20. They were plainly visible and could be seen to be either spheroid or disc-shaped. They appeared to be jockeying back and forth in their group formation, which had no particular precision, but was described as resembling a shotgun blast pattern. The objects were estimated to be at 5,000 feet immediately below the cloud base. Direction of flight was from west-northwest to east-southeast, and the objects were definitely flying a straight course at a speed in excess of over 500 miles per hour. So they're not birds, folks. It's not parallax. We've got regular flyers who are up there all the time, and they've got a good idea of judging what the fuck they're saying. Just before the formation was sighted, a loud roaring sound was heard, attributing at the time to a strong wind in the timber. As the objects approached and passed, however, the sound sharpened into a roar much like that of a formation of jets. No exhaust trails were visible. Now, subsequent checks determined that no formations of fighter aircraft were operating in the vicinity of Fielding Lake at that time. So there we go. The rumored report of estimate of the situation does exist. And indeed, they do talk about sightings of UFOs. How about that? Who would have thought that actually existed? A lot of the stuff, it appears, that they've been talking about, Jay, is out there in history. It just takes time for us to get the facts. What are your thoughts on this sighting?
I would say that, yeah, that's exactly what we need to do, Thomas, is start from the history-wise, start from the beginning and work our way to the present, just like they're doing now.
Right.
I really enjoyed this case here.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's historical. It's something people have been talking about like it was rumored and speculation, like it would actually existed. Oh, wait a minute. I've got the fucking sound effects playing. Sorry, folks. There you go. I stopped it. So, yeah, it existed. How about that? Who would have thought? I appreciate your feedback on that, Jay. All right. As a teaser for tomorrow, yes, tomorrow, believe it or not, there is a British MP. Andy, with us in the back? Maybe? No? He's at work. That's right. He came home from work. It's Friday night. So there is a British MP.
No, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
You've got MP Clive Lewis going ahead and talking about UFOs from the UK and what needs to come out from a declassification standpoint. Great to see him. I think this is one of the first MPs to actually come out and talk about it.
He's the only one that I know of.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is or where he's a member of parliament for.
No, but he may have come out of the closet, though, but that's okay. We love him anyway. Let's go ahead and I just saw that, the shirt, the collar up, the hair, the face, and it's like, okay, yeah. It's not a bad thing. You got to love and respect everybody. Hey, that's who I am. What the hell?
You know, there are two variations, aren't there? You've got the kind of Star Trek First Contact kind of approach, which is that First Contact unifies humanity in a way that nothing else ever had. And then you have the kind of the response in The Expanse, which is, you're probably aware of, a science fiction television series now, as well as a series of books by Mr. Corey. And, where it actually brings out the worst in humanity, it brings out the worst in us, because it that fear and the need to kind of take this technology or to take this knowledge and to utilize it to gain an advantage. It brings out the worst in humanity. And, we could go either way. Let's be honest. We don't know. You're an anthropologist. You may have a hotter take than myself. But as a politician who watches human nature and tries to understand it, I am aware it could go either way. There's no given on this. Maybe there's a reason why some people don't think this knowledge is worth having, because it's so profound, and the implications for us who knows what the modeling shows, what it could do to society. Whether you're someone who supports MAGA, someone that supports left-wing politics, someone that supports the Democrats, the Labour Party, the Conservative Party, we're all human beings. It's our common humanity. And the questions that we ask about our place in the world, what's the point of our existence? Why are we here? What is the point of everything I go through every day? What is the point of suffering? What is the point of joy? What is the point of family, other than being in the moment and living it? What's the point of our existence? Anyone who is anything must have asked that question, has asked that question, does ask that question. And I think the issue of non-human intelligence, UAP, the possibility of it, it really begins to make people question, and maybe, if not give answers, give some more perspective against which we can measure, a metric against which we can say, wow, we're not alone. There are others, and they must have completely alien takes on this. Maybe they have insights into this. And I think anyone would want to know that. Who knows what comes next, if anything? Why are we here? These are the kind of questions that these are profound questions that have haunted humanity for millennia. And I think, I might be a politician, I'm still a human being, and I still have those questions. And as we've been explaining, I have to temper that with my day job, the job of looking out for the material interests of my constituents. But
I debate that question. If any MP is truly standing up for their constituents, Andy. You know what I mean? You're probably like at a point you can't say anything. You're buttoned your lip.
Well, I will say he's a Labour MP, so yeah, don't hold much sway with them, I'm afraid, personally. But,
I know. I just heard him saying that he's representing his constituents.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of that.
Maybe
I'm
he's
sure
representing the expansion of his constituents.
Yeah.
You can call it that way. Let's continue on. We got a whole 20 seconds left to go. Here we go.
also know that my constituents have a spirituality that needs to be answered, if you want. And if I can play a small part in that, in unpicking some of that, that's good for me, that's good for them, that's good for the world, and I'm happy to play a small part in that.
Yeah, a small part in there. Absolutely. It'd be interesting to see where all this goes. It is refreshing. This is one of the first people from the United Kingdom MPs to actually come forward and talk about disclosure. So it's nice to hear that. And he did try and lay it out that it is a bipartisan effort. It's not just the right or the left, which are the Democrats, by the way, in the United States.
I'm going to jump in on that, Thomas. Labour or not, he is the only MP that I know of that is speaking about this. Here in the UK, we don't have bipartisanship. It's a very, very, negative across the board. There's very little, if any, agreements between separate political parties. So, I think he's going to be probably the only one we'll hear talking about this subject. Yeah. I can't see of anybody else bringing it up.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got an hour and 15 hour and 20-minute interview on this that we're going to be playing tomorrow. I saved it. I could have played it last night. I could have played it tonight, but I figured the best audience to play this one for is for our friends in the UK. So, all right. They're back and they're out for Jesus. Aliens are recruiting humans as evangelists. Oh no, they're doing it again. Really? Yeah, really. I guess I'll kind of center them, get them there. It's hard. God damn it. Can I get them in full this way? It's a close. Sorry, Chad, I have to turn you off for this clip here. I wish you could be there to be with us for this one. But maybe Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second here. We got a fucking super chat. Holy cow. I got to celebrate that one. I am Kron 777. Oh my God. Is the Jesus guy actually Kron? Because there's a 777 person on there, and that person had been like Jesus for the last day. So it was actually 4 7s. Either way, no more dots. So yes, no more disclosure dots. We got you on that one, my friend. So I want to thank you for that wonderful super chat, my friend. Let me get it up there again. Yes, we'll now get that on there and say, wait, no more dots. There we go. No more dots. Been a while since Kron's been around. Not sure if that's the real one, but he did throw a super chat this way. So actually, I could go to what Kron has said before. See if I can find it. Where did he go? Kron, greetings is back, and I want to see channel activity. Is this the same cron? No. Let's see if it is. Fixing AV will rejoin. I don't have the dates, but I think this could be, yeah, this is the old I am cron. So it is I am cron. Thank you for coming back, my friend. It's been a while since we've seen you. Now, in that absence, let's go ahead and bring down, let me just do this. Copy. No, this is the tweet. Let me get it here. Let me see if I can download it without blowing up my system. Oh, wrong one. Can't paste it there, but I can paste it here. And we got character appearing from behind a cloud saying, hiya. Peggy and Steve, thank you very much for coming to us from Miami, Florida. Holy cow, thank you very much for that wonderful super chat. We love you. You, Crockett and Tubbs and Steve, appreciate your love and support for Disclosure tonight. I know money's tough to come by these days, and I appreciate every penny that comes along, trust me. So I've got that video down here. Now I can open an external application. And now I can control it a bit more. Let's get that out of the way. Get this up here. I know it's going to be kind of small, but that's what she said anyway. So let's go ahead and move this across to the center here. And see what we can do to play this small minute. I know it's a minute 29, but I wanted to play. There's a bunch of religious stuff going on this week. Apparently this Paul guy who's up on top, he's the one who's been going out and talking to all the pastors and such about UFOs and aliens.
In her book, American Cosmic, her thesis and her introduction, in a sense, is I am watching the dynamic genesis of a global belief system. That is a PhD of religious studies claiming that. So if a PhD of religious studies says, hey, I'm watching a religion form, guess what? You're probably watching a religion form. And then the book.
Well, we have to make sure a religion doesn't form. But the people who are part of religions need to take and understand what we're dealing with and stop fucking tying it up to religion, because it's not religion. It's consciousness based. Yes, spirituality is something that they have within the church, but consciousness is universal. Here we go.
All the evidence in her research presenting the support.
She's talking about, I think she's talking about Diana Pasulka here. So let's continue.
That thesis statement that this is a belief system. It has sacred sites. It has its own theology. In what a lot of.
Oh my God, they're going to call Roswell a sacred site now, Andy. The Bledsoe's compound is a sacred site because of all the times he's talked to the orbs of God. Oh, no. And this is like coming in the, fucking overtime at the end of the football game when we should be going ahead and celebrating. We got this stuff popping up.
I've missed two within this. Again, I missed this for a lot of years. It has people that have been commissioned by non-human intelligence as evangelists to go forth and speak of the phenomenon, to lead people into contact protocols.
You know what he's talking about here, don't you? DC Muscle Wolf, Prime, Stephen Greer.
Oh.
Teaching people CE5 contact protocols. I can't wait for them to get into saying the gay left-handed people who are contacting these through psionics are opening the gateway to the devil.
You can gain knowledge. You can gain healing. You can gain all sorts of things.
What about all the negative and horrible shit that they do to people generation after generation and generation? They're trying to talk about, oh my God, let's go ahead and celebrate with these guys. We're going to get something from the aliens. They're going to help us. They're going to heal us. They're going to give us med beds. They're going to go ahead and make us so we don't age anymore. They're going to stop. They're going to give us the energy, Andy, to go ahead and save the world. They're going to give us 0 point energy.
Yeah, veneration, and we're venerating something we don't know anything about. And I've seen a comment, who is it? Randy Robert John saying they're not they're not gods, they are demons. Well, I don't subscribe to that. They're neither. They're just as mortal as we are, but maybe more advanced. I'm not religious myself, and I don't believe in even I've got a skull thing on my t-shirt. I don't believe in gods and demons.
Yeah.
These are as flesh and blood as you or I.
Right. And what happens when you blow them out of the area? You get rid of the warp field around their craft. They fall into our domain, and there's nothing to protect them.
Yeah, we can we can probably kill them just as easily as they can kill us. Just the technology they use to get around, we seemingly only just been able to sort of have a way of bringing these things down. If there was ever a conflict or anything, I think if it was boots on the ground, as they say, they're just as easy to wipe out as we are. So yeah, I'm not a subscriber in gods and angels and whatever have you.
I know, but now we've got people who are part of religion going ahead and attacking the stuff that's going on. They're saying, wait a minute, they're infringing on it. You know what this kind of says? If you have people who are followers of a religion and they're devout followers, the last thing you should have to worry about your followers going ahead and being led astray unless you're not doing something that's good to keep them engaged, right? We've got this other stuff that's going on that's out there, and it just seems to be, a lot of discussion, but we haven't seen the Church of Greer yet, have we?
No, hope not. But I think it's another way of remaining relevant. Again, there's we see this with this subject. All of these people who jump in and they're trying to stay relevant. And I think in some ways as well with a lot of these religious people, it is their way of they see an audience out there that they can latch onto.
A flock that they can manage and harvest the wool from.
Yeah.
The wool.
They're lost with me. They won't get me because Yeah.
Exactly.
But some people need a direction in life to follow. They can't plow their own field. I'm not.
Oh, they're the people sheeple, people who you can't teach to fish because they don't need to fish. Because why should I have to? It comes for free every day.
Yeah, and I'm not saying if people feel the need to follow a religion, I don't. I'll find out what's there afterwards when it's my time to depart this mortal coil. But I think some people do need to be led, and I think these people are just finding another way to reach out to people who could be, I won't say led astray, but steered in a specific direction.
Yeah, it's true. Let's continue on. Here we go.
Is a belief system around the UAP topic.
Can you say again?
They are commissioned,
non-human,
and chosen by non-human intelligence, what we used to call aliens.
You've got this recruiting. You've got like this. I'll use my own word choice. You might use the same, but this second heaven recruiting. These watchers are aliens are actually recruiting humans to.
Wait a minute. The watchers, weren't they defined in the Old Testament? Weren't they defined in the book of Enoch and other areas where they had the watchers who were there?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I thought. So again, using terms from the Bible to demonize the not that they're good. They are just what they are. They're not good. They're not evil. They just do their own shit. But now it's, let's see where this goes.
Be their apostles and evangelists for this new religion that they're rolling out right now.
Oh, the apostles. We got Greer. We got Bledsoe. And all the other ones. My God, no.
Yep.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. That's not me saying that. That's Stephen Greer. Stephen Greer in his book, Hidden Truth, Forbidden Knowledge.
Well, why don't you talk about where Stephen Greer is right now and how many people no longer believe him? You talk him up to your audience of a bunch of people who have no fucking idea who this guy is, what he's been doing, why the community has turned against him because of this shit that he brings forward.
This is that.
Oh, another super chat. Well, wow, there you go. He's got a book. Ow. Ow, left leg knee. Thank you. Disclosure agenda. A Green Berets warning to the church about UFOs, aliens, and their emerging religion. No, it's not supposed to be a religion. And that was the biggest communication I had back in the day. We don't need another fucking religion. We don't. And we have to do whatever we can do to potentially stop it. But Joseph, have you seen any kind of an organized religion coming together on this? Because people who, deal with the UFO subject, they can't even barely get together to protest against anything, let alone come together and worship on something or observe something.
You're 100% right.
It's
ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, Brian Pemble sent us $10 for Donald Ducks. Oh, there we go. A god with horns, a god with hooves, coming from Sholto de Puma. Well, everyone's joining in. Thank you very much. Appreciate the super chats. Yes. Donald Ducks, gotta love it. And I've got some other videos of that one. It's just hilarious. We have to play this stuff. And then somewhere in my feed, I've got the videos, the pictures of the Strait of Our Moose, which is coming from Canada. All right, so there's a bunch of other ones. I was talking about this last night. Glad I was able to find something. All right, we got another clip here. Like a lamb to the slaughter, Isaiah 53.
I wake up, I go to work, I punch my ticket, I doom scroll, I go to bed. And I think because I like a tweet or I repost on Instagram, I'm doing something. We have no capacity to understand the price that was paid for our salvation. We don't care. Oh, he did it. He died for me. Cool. No, he took the sins of the world upon himself. He suffered.
Come on, cry. Forced to cry. Come on.
He was separated from the Father. Can we even fully understand that?
Yeah, he was an alien. Artificial insemination. They followed the orbs to go ahead and see when this guy. Okay, I know. If there's a religion, I hate to say it, Joseph, it could be potentially damaged by the truth coming out. It ain't Buddhism. It isn't. No, you're right. It isn't Judaism.
Right.
It certainly isn't Hinduism. No, I think it's Christianity is the one that potentially could take the biggest hit on this. Come on, it sounds like an alien coming down and impregnating a woman, and they didn't have sex. So she says, and then they have the baby, and the baby pops out, and the three wise men follow the orbs to get to the place. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But it's okay if it's part of it, but then that would be the transformation of their religion that they're crying about.
We don't care. Oh, it's fringe. Oh, it's crazy. They're dying and they're headed to an eternity apart from the God of the universe. How can we not care? How can we not care?
I'm sorry. We're losing some audience members. I'm being insensitive, but no, I'm not. Come on. Let's be realistic in some of this stuff.
No, you're not being insensitive.
Okay,
right.
Here we go.
Realistic.
Survey says, ding, 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 78% of Americans say the U.S. government knows more about UFOs than it's telling the public, up from 68% in 2019 and 71% in 1996. Call your elected representatives and ask for their support on the UAP Disclosure Act. No, you got to call your senators on that one. It's already passed the House, so let's see where it goes. I know I've got this earlier. Does he have the other ones that are there? No. Let's get out of that creepy guy. All right, here we go. So what we're talking about now is the Strait of Ontario that goes ahead and connects from the Gulf of St. Lawrence, goes all the way down and connects into Lake America, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, Lake Michigan, and Lake Superior. Now, Canada, in retaliatory efforts, has come out and said, we're about to rename the Strait of Ontario to the Strait of Our Moose. It's closed. And we're going to start charging people in America tariffs and fees for going ahead and going through our strait. And here we've got another clip of the St. Lawrence Seaway change being signed to the Strait of Our Moose. Canada has to have some fun time getting to it. All right. You guys remember that invasion that happened in Spain the other day? Well, the Red Cross has come there to go ahead and feed and take care of the migrants that have been coming in. But the residents are saying, get the fuck out of here. We don't want you. Leave. We're not going to let you pass. We're not going to let you get out of here. Turn around and go away, because the Red Cross is there. Why? To actually go ahead and allow more migrants to come in. At least the local population has been smart about it. God, where'd my audience go? You're losing them all. Oh, well, that's fine. It's Friday anyway. Got to have some fun with it. We're going to have to stay here forever. I'm here to go ahead and help the show and help the people go ahead and talk about stuff. So let's see what else we've got into it. All right, Avi Loeb. Well, interesting. Stephen Green Street. Is this the one where I replied to it? All right. We'll go with this one. He reached out to Stephen Green. I reached out to the Office of the Director of National Intelligence to ask about the Harvard professor Avi Loeb's UFO Council and its relationship with the government. Question 1. Was Professor Avi Loeb asked by OVNI to establish and lead the UAP Science Council? Avi Loeb has led the Science Advisory Council, one of several informal groups OVNI has worked with to gather information outside the U.S. government. Question 2. Is the UAP Science Advisory Council an official governmental group? No. The UAP Science Council is an informal group of experts who have provided their views. The OVNI officials, no, it's not just to the OVNI it's going to pursue. Question 3. What role, if any, does OVNI play with the UAP Science Advisory Council? OVNI personnel have worked with several informal advisory groups with expertise in particular areas. Now, Green Street goes on to say, I should note that Loeb claims he was tasked by ARO, the FBI, and the White House to this UFO Advisory Council. I reached out to all of them, but only heard back from Susan Goff. Where's that beauty queen at? She hasn't popped up yet today. Susan, oh, there you go. We've forgotten how wonderful it is.
My eyes, Thomas, my eyes.
Oh, yeah, they're fucking erection killer in chief. You know, got to deal with that. Let's freaking put her away again. All right, for any questions about anything to have to do with the Advisory Council, including anything to do with Avi Loeb, we refer you to OVNI. So ARO won't comment on whether ARO actually tasked Loeb to do this Advisory Council, punting me instead to the OVNI. And there's a smartass out there by the name of Thomas L. Fessler. Oh, yeah, that's fucking me. Middle of mayhem. Thanks for sharing initial answers. Michael Huntington, who's another asshole out there, but he's a good asshole, and sometimes got to give it to him, has mentioned law that requires transparency into advisory councils beyond what's been provided to date. His claims seem 100% accurate. If the government won't answer, please file necessary demands for public transparency. Chatham House rules implemented for anonymity may be contrary/illegal to current advisory council federal requirements. Ah, fuck. God damn it. I did it again. Requirements. All right, here we go. Disclosure is for everyone. And I appreciate you poking the proverbial elephant in the room for transparency. It's not a fucking bull in the room. The last thing we need is more unnecessary secrecy, along with a lack of public access. While we don't usually agree with your shtick, you are on point, and I appreciate your efforts. We're all in this together, irrespective of perspective. Enough of the cover-up. Calling it out as it is, folks. Yes, they've got this new thing that they've put together. There are laws for advisory councils, for who's there, who can be there, the information that's discussed, how the reporting is supposed to go on. And the problem is they haven't been following those rules. So if those rules are truly in play, then I raise the flag to everyone and say, yes, we need to absolutely 100% go ahead and enforce them and bring transparency back to where it belongs. Brian, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, so we're obviously dealing with a political machine that's pretty much a shell game, and you are exactly right. What needs to happen is they need to have, a ball buster, if you will, that goes through there and starts raking these people through the coals. Who is it that's downgrading the frame rates on the videos? Who is it? Name them.
It's not just the frame rates. Who is overly compressing the videos, making them
Bingo.
more difficult to see by pulling out the bit rate? Who is also going ahead and pulling out the telematic information saying the GPS locations, the direction the camera is in, all the different stuff that lets us understand what's looking at it. Now, when I talked to Lou about 2 months ago, one-on-one in Seattle, he said the government going ahead and retaining this information is problematic, is preventing our scientists from being able to understand what's going on, and we're working to go ahead and try and change that with the administration. Now,
Good.
that's changed
So that's, yep.
based on our last conversation with Lou, basically saying, yes, that information is classified and will remain classified, and those people who want to get access to it are going to have to file for and achieve security clearances, which is something that Loeb said they would never do at the start of this. So it seems like there's like this, perpetual game of hide the salami.
Yeah, that's why I was saying a shell game. I mean,
yeah, that makes sense, Brian. Shell game, absolutely. You muted yourself, right?
yes, I apologize. My kids came out and I didn't want to.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're used to that.
You know what needs to happen from the executive on top is there needs to be somebody there, whether it be Stephen Miller, and it does come back to politics. I know people hate that. But once Trump's aware that they're not fulfilling his directive that he put out, I know it's not an executive order. We'd like that. Okay. But he did put a directive out. And if Pete Hegseth of the Department of War is not finding the people to flush these people out and put it out properly, not improperly, because they're playing games, then somebody needs to go in there and start wrecking shop and firing people. That's pretty much what needs to happen. We have somebody with some gumption. It needs to be brought to Trump's attention and find somebody with some gumption. I mean, if I were him, I'd bring in Greg Bovino, the ex-Border Patrol guy, and just have him run shop through there. Because obviously Hegseth at the DOW is not doing it right now.
No, they're not, are they?
But that's what needs to happen. We've gotten more transparency, but it's whitewashed, it's downgraded, it's not what we need to be seeing. We're happy it's there, but it's not what everybody deserves. It's not the transparency that was promised.
Exactly. It never is. They never take us to the roles where it's at. It's so if they can, they should force access. They should force the laws that are there for transparency. And I know scientists don't want to particularly have their name attached to what they're saying. But you know what? If they're in this to win it, you're going to have to go ahead and raise your hand and your name tag along with it. Ryan, your hand's up. Wow.
I agree with Brian. I mean, somebody's misleading the president, and whoever that is should be found out and be fired. And Trump should be notified.
No, Trump already knows he's getting misled. He knows he's getting screwed by the deep state, and he's working with Stephen Miller to correct it. So,
well, yeah, that's true. But presidents they seem to not consider the president. I guess what I'm trying to say is I agree with Brian.
The last president we had, he had no brain. But yeah.
Well, I know. I'm just saying that if there is somebody, or they need to get to the bottom of this, and the president should fire anybody that is trying to obfuscate or deny
get rid of the deep
access.
state, right? Oh, right, but we had those Obama judges who have gone in and saying, "Oh, you can't fire these people, although they're part of the executive branch." That's usurping your ability, which is the biggest piece of bullshit that goes on out there. It's like you have all these rogue judges that honestly need to get their fucking ass fired and kicked out of this country.
Well, Burchett is saying that the deep state is blocking the president.
It's a cover up, as Tim always says. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, sir.
And if I could add one more thing, Thomas, real quick before you move on. This is going to be more of a general idea, but just in any legislation, I mean, you guys remember when we had things attached to the UAPB and stuff like that, and it gets killed in committees.
Okay, hold on. I've got a schmuck who I get to go kick out of the chat right now because apparently my back chat is letting this little fucktards text messages pop up in the show. So give me a second. I have to go deal with Suck a Lemon, who's going to go suck some cock at this point because I think that's what he loves to do. So let me, nothing wrong with that, but I'm going to put him in timeout for 24 hours. There we go.
Yeah, so just
suck on
just
that,
in
my
general.
friend.
There you go, Thomas. I like it. But when you put legislation forward and it gets killed in committees and all this other stuff, and they wonder, oh my God, it got killed in committee by so and so, and the House members and the senators come back and say, well, it died in committee. Well, you're the House member, you're the senators. Put laws forward. Who killed the provisions? Who killed the wording in the legislation? Have them attach their names in the margins to the side so we know exactly who they are. These particular members that are career staffers that work for these people, they're the ones that are causing most of the damage, and a lot of it's intel doing that. They should have to sign their names in the margins, and so that should be legislation that's passed.
And here's the thing, too, all of these people who are out there who are these unnamed bureaucrats, we need to start naming names of all these fucktards that are out there.
Exactly right.
And stop giving them anonymity because they don't deserve it.
Bingo.
Yeah, because that would help not only normal legislation for you and me and everybody else, but also UAP stuff. Okay. Oh, it was Joe B. that said that you can't get this tax break. Okay, that was him that crossed it out, and you agree with it, Senator. What do you think about that? That's 100% the way to go, Thomas.
Yeah, absolutely. We try. We definitely do try here. I'm not talking about trying. Yes, we've got a video here of Dr. Avi Loeb talking about why scientists need to have first access to UAP information. So this is a great clip from Avi Loeb. And yes, we know it's Avi Loeb from the creators of Avi Lube, my friends. Yes, it's one of our unofficial sponsors of the show to have the greatest time when you're bored. Let's go ahead and watch this and see where it goes. It's about 8 minutes of Avi going ahead and getting into the ham pineapple, I guess, as Steve Mateo would say. Whatever the fuck that is. Let's play it.
UAPs. This long program has been actively retrieving and reverse engineering these crashed or landed unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAPs. If such material were indeed retrieved, the UAP Science Advisory Council to the US government, under my leadership, would benefit greatly from direct access to these materials. Our scientists could review the analysis documents within government organizations like the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, or within corporations like Lockheed Martin or MITRE, which might have been contracted by the US government to analyze them. A material mass of more than a gram, roughly the width of a finger at solid density, should be sufficient to figure out whether it originated from outside the solar system. The fingerprints of an extrasolar origin involve the chemical composition, relative abundance of atoms with different numbers of protons, and isotopic composition, relative abundance of atoms with the same number of protons but different number of neutrons. The material of the entire solar system originated from a cloud of gas which was enriched uniformly with heavy elements by a particular history of nearby stars and supernovae. The material that made other stars...
Oh my God. We've got Black Horse, and now we've got supernovae. But wait a minute, he's going to talk about OVNI, which is the ODNI.
And exoplanets had a different history and is expected to possess distinct chemical or isotopic fingerprints. In recent years, I collaborated with the laboratory team of my colleague, Professor Stein Jacobsen, on chemical and isotopic analysis of millimeter-scale fragments, each carrying a mass of a millionth of a gram. retrieved in a Pacific Ocean expedition from the crash site of the interstellar meteor IM-1, as summarized in the peer-reviewed paper.
Oh, fuck. This is where he's going after Abi's little fucking tiny metal balls that he found. It was actually coal slag.
If UAP materials were manufactured by a technological process, it would be straightforward to differentiate the solid-state structure of alien technologies from our own. Moreover, an intact alien device would exhibit features beyond our current understanding of science and technology. It should be straightforward to separate alien from human-made products, even if these products are associated with black projects conducted by adversarial nations. Biological material would be even easier to separate from all life forms on Earth. Distinct extrasolar signatures could include a different molecular chemistry for storing genetic information, a left-handed chirality of DNA, in contrast to the right-handedness characterizing the DNA structure of all terrestrial life forms, or traces of synthetic biology that flag technological signatures. There is no doubt that the US retrieved aircraft materials and biological pilots from crash sites of terrestrial military equipment.
Look, it's the crash of MH370. See, it was an actual crash that happened.
If these materials originated in adversarial nations, the intelligence community would prefer to keep the information secret and potentially assign alien labels to it in order to confuse people without the need to know information about its true origin. Such labeling could have also confused whistleblowers who received second-hand information. The only way to distinguish between this down-to-earth scenario and a reality in which alien materials were retrieved is for scientists to access the materials directly or their analysis reports. First-hand information is mandatory for a reliable assessment of what we know. Testimonies are not enough. So far, the 5 tranches of data released here through the Presidential Unsealing and Reporting System for UAP Encounters include only written reports, images, and videos. The quality of the released data is insufficient to make the case that any particular object is not natural or human-made. Without better scientific quality data, it is difficult to determine the distances, velocities, and acceleration of objects and decide whether observed orbs are drones, laser spots, or something more exotic like warp bubbles. Another path forward is to collect new UAP data using multiple triangulating sensors in the infrared, optical, radio, and audio, as currently done in 3 Galileo Project observatories under my leadership. Spectroscopy could inform us about the surface composition for reflected sunlight or the spectrum of light emitted by the orbs. The UAP Science Advisory Council also aims to collect new data in partnership with the US government. But it would save all of us a lot of time if scientists were granted access to non-human made materials retrieved from UAP crash sites, if such materials exist. It makes little sense for scientists to keep analyzing blurry videos with insufficient information if a shortcut to the truth is already at hand. Until access to first-hand evidence is granted to scientists, the fundamental ambiguity remains. Are the materials mentioned by Grusch from adversarial nations or from a truly alien origin? In the former case, the analysis of this material is of national security importance, but of little interest to fundamental science. In the latter case, the material represents the most impactful scientific discovery in the history of humanity, one that will probably be remembered for millions of years and shape our future among the stars. We should therefore provide whistleblowers the legal assurances they need in order.
That depends on the kind of whistleblowers we're talking about.
For them to disclose everything they know about UAP without fear of retaliation. The historic memo issued by Aaron Lucas, the principal deputy director of national intelligence, waived recently non-disclosure agreements and contractual obligations to hide UAP information
but he's almost
for
done.
former and current government employees. If UAP whistleblowers come forward, scientists can follow their leads and assess whether the evidence supports their testimonies. If it does not, we should move on to investigate other scientific mysteries.
What happened to my chat?
Life is short, and we better focus on substance to make it a fulfilling experience. Angel investors and venture capitalists should pay attention to the possible disruptive developments on the alien technology front, as they constitute a high-risk, high-impact opportunity with major financial implications if such alien technologies could be harnessed through down-to-earth applications for the benefit of humanity.
I wish he started having own pictures of himself in the background. He's so full of himself.
Sorry, guys. Oh boy. Sorry about that. Yes. Don't forget to subscribe to Avi Loeb. Yeah, Moose was just trying to turn over the peanut containers because he wants some peanuts, but apparently he doesn't want that. He wants something else. Hey, Moose, I got some popsicles in the basement. Do you want to go get us some?
Imagine Avi Loeb taking one of those pictures that, you know, back in the day that we used to take at Sears. We had like a double picture inside the picture.
Yeah.
I could see him taking one of those.
Oh, gosh, yeah, absolutely. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, God, I've got to find the threads I had from earlier today. We got past Avi Loeb and stuff. Oh, no, we got some old documents that I can read. Oh, no, I can't show that.
Has Corbell said anything in the last
Well, yes,
month
thank you
or
for
so?
bringing that up. Well, I have some stuff on Corbell. Well, it's not here. August 26th. That's today. Give me a second. It's not here, but I'll look for it here and I'll probably find it. Give me a second here. Corbell missing. So, why is this latest? Hold on. Oh, here we go. So this is from the 21st. People have been talking about this. We've brought it up in casually speaking here and there. Let's go ahead and go to this one post we've got here. Tom's video. All right, here we go. Let's check it out. Let's get to it. Fuck yeah, I said it. God damn it. Weaponized has become a missing persons case. George Knapp is still turning up, but Jeremy Corbell seems to have vanished into the black hole, the black horse, as the evidence we keep being told is coming soon. Anyone heard from him? The last Weaponized Odd podcast was on June 18th. Now, before that, where is that at? Corbell missing. All right, so there was a this is the one people are in one of his statements. He was out there and Jeremy went and said that he has all the information, he's going to share it, and that if nobody else shares the information, this is for the third tranche and he's been quiet since then. After the second tranche, if you don't release the information about biologics or crash retrievals, I've got this data out there with 100 other people and I'm going to go ahead and release it. It's kind of what he was going towards. So we did have a tweet from him actually on July 21st. So it's a month ago. Okay, so we've established where he's at. Now this is the basement Corbell. We've got an interview of him. This is what everyone's pointing to, is this UFO disclosure estimate of the situation on the eve of the State of the Union address. I'm offering my estimate of the situation. You know, that document we saw today? He's talking about that. They're just reusing it. This was right before it, and he was basically going ahead and saying the president, he's going to make a speech about UFOs, which he never did. And Jeremy never responded to this tweet that he had put out on, when was this? February 24th. This is old. So, hold something to president. This isn't the one here. I know I've played the clip of Jeremy getting into there. Either way, Jeremy had said that I'm going to go ahead. I've got this information, world. And if the president of the United States doesn't release this stuff, I'm going to have all these people go ahead and release that information. And since then, and after he made that statement, there was another one that he said that he has already released everything that he has. Although if you look at the file system of what they had going in his movie Sleeping Dog that I bought, you could see all of the different, folders he had about biologics and other stuff. He said this is where all the data was at. Now he says he's already given all the data away, but he wanted to show in his video proof that he had this data. And he's just gone silent. Which generally when someone goes silent like that, they out in trouble, Joseph. Someone who is a vocal activist, as Jeremy has been in this community, what reason would you be able to come up with to say why he would go silent? What do you think? Let's see where it goes. Uh-oh. He's not ready for the question. Jay or Ryan or the audience. Oh, wow.
With him going silent, I would say he got a talking to, and somebody's either going to
hold on, Joseph. We've got Jay here talking about this. We'll get back to you in a second. Fell asleep. Go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
I would say that somebody was giving him a talking to, and he's gone silent for a while. He probably will come back, but I'm not sure if he would have the same gumption that he did before.
Right. Here's an example. It's Lou Elizondo talking about stuff, right? Lou Elizondo goes through Dopser for his first book, Eminent, right? And what he talks about now is different from what he could talk about before.
Yes, because now he has approval, and this is what exactly he can talk about.
Or he's had a talking to, potentially, because I've been bringing it up and saying, honestly, if you really have that information and you're broadcasting it, you're talking about multiple leaks of the highest level of national security, and, you may not want to go ahead and share this information with anybody, but seriously, dude, you've admitted to having a bunch of information that nobody should have, even if you're a reporter. Now, they can go to the reporter and confiscate said information from the reporter, but technically they can't force him to go ahead and reveal his sources. And if that goes on, then they could lock him up indefinitely until he actually releases it, right?
Thomas, with if he was showing anything on his screen, those files that could have been considered national security, you are correct on that, then he would definitely be somewhere that he does not want to be.
I know. Give me a second. Studio. Put this down here. Oh, God, we are one sub away. One sub away from 18,800. If you're having a fun time, guys, please help us get there, folks. We are so close to getting to 18,000. We've got to take it a day at a time. We've been flat at like 18,997 or 6 or 8, and it's been popping up and down. It's wonderful to see we get some people who are actually, yes, Geraldine DeRazio. I haven't said those magic words. Sweaty, are you ready? Got your camera?
That's right. Black horse.
Clinky, clinky.
Clinky, clinky. That's right. Also clinky, clinky. Get your drinky.
Take your drinky.
Take your drink. That's right. And drink
we can't see you, but to the audience and everybody else, there you go.
Yeah.
Clinky, clinky, take your drinky.
Oh, Jay, there you go.
Other side. Okay, here we go.
Other side. There you
I
go,
got it
my
now.
friend.
Clinky,
there you
clinky.
go. Clink.
Clink,
Thank
clink.
you, sir. Sweaty, there you go, my friend. Thank you very much.
All right.
And to the audience, whoever's down there. Water, yes, we have to hydrate. We have to hydrate. It's always a key. Never drink and don't hydrate. All right, so let me go ahead and find what I was going to go to here for. Was give me a second here. I'll put everyone in the black background for a second. I was going to go to the content for the lives. And what the hell was I going to look for just now that we were just watching with what were we just talking about? Oh yeah, Jeremy Corbell. That was one of the big videos we actually had on the channel recently. Let me
Corbell.
Oh, plus the fact, Thomas, that Jeremy Corbell said, and now the stuff on the computer is national security or anything, clinky clinky.
Clinky clinky.
Then all of a sudden now you are admitting to giving national security information to hundreds of different journalists. So
right.
Yeah, he's going to be quiet.
So I've got this. You know what? Hold on. New window. I may have it here. Sleeping dog. We've got it. So I've got the movie. We don't need to go back to watching the show. We can just go ahead and skip right to the point. Since we can, let's take the video and goes through it. Okay. This is where, there we go. NHI Biologics and Cleanup. He's showing the screen.
Exactly.
So that's what I hate about this versus... So he's showing the laptop of the videos that are playing. Fast Mover UAP, FMV Orb UAP, Formations UAPs, etc. So we're getting close-ups of this stuff. And he's indicating that and there we go, audio recordings. Here's all the different folders that he shows.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is just audio. I guess this is under... Bring it down a bit for in a folder called audio whistleblowers. Right.
Could I chip in, Thomas, a minute? Because my hand seems to have gone AWOL on my thing in here, so I can't put my hand up. You know, could he have just created these folder names for show?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes,
so,
yeah, of course. However, we don't know that at this point. So it's just a matter of looking at. Let me find Brave browser again. Where the fuck did I put that window at? Come on, Brave.
I logged in because I really have something I want to say about this.
What?
So he said 100 journalists. First of all, if 100 people had that, the night before he said it, there's no way that would have stayed silent. No one got to Corbell. He opened his mouth about something he didn't have, and he pissed off Knapp. I guarantee you.
You never know who his contacts are, sign this guy. You never know if it was 10 people, if it was 100, whatever it is. But people would respect something called a dead man switch. Now, if I can go ahead and get to this and bring it up here, I think here's the difference when we're seeing the stuff coming out of this. Let me get to full. You can go ahead and take a look at in the lower right corner of the screen, all the telematics that are in all the videos. And this one still hasn't been released yet. Let me get myself on here. Thomas, here we go. So over here, this shit, giving you the lat long, where this stuff is, the direction where you're at, all these things. None of this is being redacted. And in all the materials we get from the federal government, that data is always taken out. So this is that first one. We went through and played through the section of the video. This is a good video, by the way. Here's another one where I'm zooming in on it and showing the lat long. of the actual location of the object of what's happening, because that's the only way you can really understand what's going on. Here's us going ahead and taking those locations and bringing it up on a map. Come on. Well, YouTube is going to bringing up on the map to see exactly where some of these videos were taken. Here's another video that was going on that we had where we had just Patrick talking during the video, but here we've got the lat long of that stuff. So, and here's another one where I'm zooming into the lat long of this particular object of what's going on, because it was there. So in all the videos that we got from Jeremy, the quality, the amount of information of, there's another one right there, that's being shown and being revealed to us, not so over, even just over here, but on the left side of the video, when we were looking at some of this stuff, it was very, it's all of the shit. If we look at any of the videos that we've downloaded so far about the different UFOs that have come from the Pursue releases, everything is fucking redacted. Here's another one that we got. I think this is one of the Tic Tacs, another one like it. And here we got the locations, the speed, all the different stuff that's kind of going on. Additionally, this is all the data that the government has been redacting from us. So if he has all in the versions that were released by the federal government are all redacted. Now, this one was cool. This is the one that happened in frickin' Ukraine. Unbelievable what the fuck this thing was. I would say this is probably one of the best things. And the thing is, what's something good when we hear about it and then it just kind of goes dead silent about it? They were onto something with that stuff. Yeah, there's some crazy shit out there. Now, as we're getting back into that's in that part. So, yeah, the first part of the program. So Jeremy showed stuff. Now, as you were saying, Sinus Guy, some of... I would have to go ahead, and we showed earlier. I'm not sure where it's at right now. We showed the exact. We showed the if you want to call it, what was being shown for the folder structure. Yes, that entire folder structure could be completely fake. It could be partially true, or it could be completely true and accurate. The thing is, we don't know where any of this lands. Now, did the videos, the 8 ones that he put out there, go beyond what we've had released so far? Yes. Did it give us information that's been classified by the federal government, not for public release? Yeah. Did he probably have a bunch more? I wouldn't doubt it. He's been collecting this stuff. He's a digital collector. He's like a modern day P.T. Barnum of ufology. When everyone else was quiet and nothing was getting out there, who was getting on interviews and talking about the conversation when it's dead like it is now? That would usually be Jeremy Corbell. But where is Jeremy right now? He's gone silent. And it's not that he's trying to get reelected or something. Something has happened and it's interrupted his stuff to a point where George Knapp is even, finding other things to keep him busy but that's only a small portion of George's time. He has other time he can completely work with Jeremy, but it just seems like he's dropped out. And I've been saying, hey, government, he's gone and, he's got these files that are considered, classified under the highest levels of national security, and he's got them on his laptop and he's flaunting it. Isn't that an issue? It really is, isn't it? Because if you have stuff like that, do you go and flaunt it to the government, to the people who can come and knock on your door and say, hey, Jeremy, I'm with the FBI. Let's have a conversation, shall we?
I mean, he did say he was going to drop some stuff if they don't release certain things, and he hasn't dropped anything. So it's like, I can understand the frustration that Science Guy got, but, I mean,
they're not worth it. Yeah, that was a fun video back then. That was the one. I just saw Patrick. The event that happened in this one, I believe, if I could find it. You can see Patrick there and it's not there. There we go. Patrick ended up eventually getting the chicken to come on his shoulder. And let's just say the chicken dropped the present that wasn't an egg. But it was a beautiful chicken. I've never seen a chicken like that before. Either way, love you, Patrick. All right. Where else are we at? God, that took up a bunch of time. That was a good conversation. Does that fulfill your thoughts on this, Sinus Guy?
Yes, it does. Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and maybe I should back off my position a little. It just seems like that Knapp is mad at him. I mean, there's been another podcast.
Why would Knapp be mad at him?
Well, he made a very, very bold statement and very threatening, and I don't think he had the media to back it up. I mean, he made all these big, bold claims, and I could just see Knapp saying, "What are you doing?" 100 people. How do you keep 100? 100 journalists, he said. If they had those files, that kind of story, you think you could keep 100 people quiet? I don't. I don't know. I mean, I respect what you're saying, Thomas. I'm going to try to hear what you're saying.
Yeah, but everyone sees it differently, and hopefully I can help you see it a different way.
Yeah, you're making me look at it different, for sure.
I mean, you know what? I understand Simon's, his speculation, as far as like, with the whole 100 journalists getting all this information and things gonna get, released, and he or the journalists will release things out. So I understand that part, because it's like, again, we haven't heard or seen anything that he said that he was going to supposedly drop. But then again, you know what? We could be reading too much into it, so who knows?
Yeah. Time will tell. It's either he's been off on a long summer vacation, or it's something else. It's, we'll see. All it is, there's when someone dies or moves away, whatever it is, there's an absence for what's around you. When you lose your mom, your parent, a sibling, a friend, whatever it is, that vacancy of that absence of the person is what you feel more than anything. And I know a bunch of our audience has been through there. I have many times. Jay, your hand is up.
Yeah, Thomas, I was just going to say, the second link I shared in the back chat, a Chinese helicopter has just reached the root cause of the flood in Nepal, and they're flying over it, showing where it actually came out from the mountain, where it came down from.
Yeah, let me find.
That's really good.
I know. You put it in the back chat, which is hidden for me in the current user interface because I have it clamped down for the show. Let me go ahead and find out where the fuck that it is. There it is. You bring that back, put you to there. The second chat, right?
Yeah, the second one. That's the helicopter. It's going over where the water rushed out and caused a huge damage. It's called a GLOF.
Link address.
A glacial lake outburst flood.
Hold on.
Yep.
So this is on the Tibetan, and right now there's another lake that's building up right now of all this melting shit that's coming down into a glacial lake, right?
100%.
That's going to go ahead, and it's already got more water than it had before. It's going to break, and it's going to do it again.
Yeah. They're not going to be able to stop it. It's coming up to way too fast.
Now, don't forget, China has done a bunch of different geoengineering in Tibet, where they've taken the high deserts, or literally high deserts, and they turn them into, they put all these different things out there to go ahead and put off this smoke that basically went and created moisture in the air and turned it into, from an arid desert, into like a lush, grassland and stuff. And you have to wonder, what does that change, right?
Now you see the consequences.
What's the consequence of making these small change to bring this land back to life? Does that kind of have any change in what's going on over there? Let me play that in the meantime. But yeah, you know what I mean? There's always a cause and effect for everything. We think we're doing a good thing by taking a desert, right, and turning it into a lush area, full of life and plants and everything else. But does the balance of the Earth's atmosphere require this really cold thing over here, right? And moist thing right next to this really hot and dry thing, or this really dry thing. So could it be that taking that area, raising its stuff, and when you make it by the surface, that affects what's above it, right?
It affects everything around it.
There's all the water running out, yeah.
For miles and miles around.
Now, what would be good to see? How does this compare to a year ago? How does this compare to 5 years ago, 25 years ago, etc.? And there should be satellite coverage of some of this stuff that they can do from a standing picture in, like, August 28th of every year, going back as many years as they can. It would show the change in variance that's going on.
Yeah, it would show the change in the geography and show everything that's happening around it.
Yeah.
Ooh, whoa.
Yeah, that's it. It's a shit ton of water running really, really fast. Now, if I do one thing, if I go to maps.google.com, and if I go to the Washington Dry Falls. Have you heard about Dry Falls, Washington before? There was a huge, where's it at? Somewhere out here in Washington, there was an area where, I think it's in Dry Falls, to where you go into it and everything is like, the entire land and everything is all like carved up, and it has all these different areas where all these waterfalls used to be, right? And everything came through here at a really rapid pace at one period of time when they called it Lake Pontchartrain that was up in Alaska, in Canada. It broke, and they said it came down slowly. No, this was a catastrophic piece where you had something like 10, 20 times the size, 50 times the size of Niagara Falls, all of a sudden flooding with all this water, and it just carved out the complete area in a matter of days. Because you have something that's going on that's so freaking catastrophic, like this stuff. So imagine you've got something like that, that's a lake that's there, that's the size of Lake Michigan, if not bigger. And all of a sudden it breaches and you get all that water cascading down. And that's what they're thinking part of the stuff is for the Grand Canyon. It wasn't created just, slowly over millions of years. There was some major catastrophic scouring events that have happened that have destroyed all this stuff. And there's another channel that I follow called what is that? They're up in Alaska, the Boneyard. And it's a boneyard filled with just countless amounts of gold, but there's also like all these mastodon and lions and tigers and bears and just all this different life forms that they're finding, all the skeletons that happened in a mass event where all of a sudden you have just all this life that was there just died all at the same time. It's
mass extinction event.
Yeah. And a lot of those times that happens is when the Earth goes and pivots from from the direction we're in now. It goes and pivots like 90 degrees, and it stays like that for a number of thousands of years.
Magnetic reversal.
And then it reverses and goes back again. And every time you take the Earth and you go through that, I'm putting my hands back and forth because there's a big sloshing event.
Yeah, it's a rocking effect, yes.
And people think, oh my God, the sun's going to heat us up, the Earth is going to boil. No, what's going to happen? The Earth is going to get hot enough of the ice is going to go ahead and melt, and it's going to throw us back into snowball Earth again, where pretty much all of the Earth is frozen except a small area around the equator where all the people are running from right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Hang out, guys. In a short amount of time, your land is going to be the most valuable on the planet when that happens, because everyone's going to want to go there. Yeah. So, okay, so this is coming from Tibetan Frontline. Okay, the video is not from a Chinese helicopter over a glacial lake in Nepal. It shows a glacial lake outside of Alaska's Columbia. Okay, so yeah, like I said, it could not be that video. Yeah, it's not that video. This is from Alaska.
Got it, Thomas. Yep.
But there are some people that were hanging out and taking photos of the river. Oh, there they go. Another one. Another one's gone. There's another one holding on for their dear life. Oh, fucking music, no. Yeah.
Yeah, if something like this happens, it's not a good time to take a selfie.
No, it's not. Yeah. Crazy time about stuff.
And if you're at the beach and you see the water start to disappear into the ocean, it's time to turn around and run.
Or if you see the ocean that comes up with a lines on it like a checkerboard, run.
Yeah.
Run. Here's another shot of it getting up the other day.
Oh my God!
Yeah, this is insane footage. I saw this the other day.
Yeah. Look at the audience. How are we doing here? Do we still have an audience? I haven't paid attention. Sorry, audience. Let's see. People are still here. Oh, still 292. It's all right. National security, folks. Yeah. They'd keep this information from us if they could.
I'm here, national security.
There we go. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Wait. Here you go, Jay. Clink. Cheers, my friend.
Wow, that is amazing, Thomas.
I know.
The power of Mother Nature.
So if I look for Nepal and I go back to here, let's just go back to the way back, all the freaking.
Well, you are right. If you're geoengineering one area above another area, you're going to affect everything downstream of it.
Okay, so I think these are all the videos we saw before. That's the one of the, this is that one of that one place again.
Oh no!
The first night, yeah. There's nowhere for any of these people to go. If they go back in here, they're dead. If they go in any of these buildings, they're dead. The only chance that they have, literally, is to climb up the fucking cliff walls.
I'm going to say the next time they do an adventure like this and put something downstream, they should have an emergency bunker for the employees so that if anything happens, they can flee to it.
Yeah, or just fucking ladders they can climb up the fucking sides of the cliff.
Anything to get the hell out of there.
Mm.
I think, personally, Thomas, I don't think they would have had much, as soon as you hear it coming, it's too late. So
no, there's a bunch of people running in different directions. They may have been able to get there and save something. Who knows?
I believe this was the Tibet and Nepal border.
Yeah, they're gone. You're right. Everything is just wiped out. So yeah, Jay, you're right. Get underground. Be safe.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, next time they do something like this,
shut it down. Otherwise, all that shit's gonna wash in.
Yeah, you have to shut it. It has to be sealed. You'd have to have electricity or something, or air going into it somewhere, or a compressor or something. Hopefully, you can get something into it after this happens above it.
Dennis Benke, go back and look what you posted and put up there. Is that really how you want to define yourself? That's just really nasty, awful, hateful language. As this one woman I used to work with would say, shame on you. Seriously. Audience, not calling them out. Mods, allowing someone to go ahead and talk like that shit. You've been around for a while too.
If my gram was in here, she'd say,
what the fuck got you into the moment to go ahead and start talking shit like that? Unless you've been saying it for a while and I just didn't pay attention.
You've got a potty mouth.
Oh, it's worse than that. I'm pretty sure
got a
that
sewer
Jimmy
mouth?
Church and Christina Israel supporters want slaves. I don't like Christina
boy.
Gomez. She's a blues slaver. What the fuck?
What? What does that even mean?
Yeah, but yeah, okay, you've been through a lot of stuff. Oh, God. I have to go ahead and delete the message.
What is going on in the back chat tonight? Wow.
Hey, this is the front chat.
Well, front chat, I mean, yeah.
So be nice. We all have been through a lot of stuff. This is your chance. You do it again, you're gone. I'm sorry. Fucking now we got another one. TK. What the fuck?
They're coming out of the woodworks, Thomas. George of the jungle, watch out for that tree. Kick him out.
Well, I just went and hid somebody else and I reported them for hate speech.
Good.
If you're going to do hate speech on my channel, you will get blocked and you will be reported to fucking YouTube. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Please. Please.
Hate is not worth anything.
No, it's not. And I can't tolerate fucking shit like that. I'd rather shut this thing down than allow shit like that to go on.
100%.
So. Yeah. Yeah. Back to the things getting blown up. Yeah, God, there's another one of the bridge going in. There's a lot of bridges that all just went. Yeah. But what's been horrible coming out of it is now they've got people where they're going and like taking the bodies that are in the water and like ransacking them for gold and shit. But you know what though? Humans have done that forever.
Yeah, people have been looting since
the dead, yeah.
Yeah, since forever.
So yeah, we saw that one. Go back to
Can you
here.
imagine the graves that are being washed up?
The graves? They're not getting washed up.
Graves.
Well, yeah, maybe, but it's more the living than yeah, there would be graves and shit going on, but there's just, oh God, look at the people running for their fucking life. It's you can't outrun it. It's going 70 miles an hour or 35 miles an hour. There's no way you can outrun any of this stuff.
The only way to outrun it is to go up the hill.
Yeah, like I said. And it's potentially set to happen again.
I can't believe that. That's wow.
Okay, I think the chat is safe again. Okay, yeah.
You know, Thomas, it reminds me of what they might have been looking at with Pompeii and all the things that we've seen.
Atlantis. They said Atlantis was wiped out from a flood, right?
Yeah. You were looking at something just like these.
Yeah, exactly. So if Atlantis was wiped out with a flood, there you go. There's an example of a flood coming through. It's not just water, but it's the material and everything else. Imagine if you have mile-high waves coming and sweeping across a country. It's not just all the different water that's there. It's the water and the debris that adds to it that breaks it all apart.
Yeah, it's like looking into the past almost with some of the greatest destructions that we know of.
Some of the times you have it where you have like layers up in the mountain where there's like sea life, right?
Right.
Was that there?
Oh,
because,
yeah, that's right.
Was that there because there
up?
used to be a sea floor at that area before it became a mountain? Or did that get deposited there by a big flood?
Yeah, like, is this seawater? I'm sorry, I missed. Is this sea or is this
fresh water?
Fresh water,
Not that
okay.
would make a difference in this point because everyone's going to get toasted.
I'm just wondering what kind of deposits it would make, whether it was sea life or whether fresh water.
This is all just going to be freaking water and ice and
And like Nepal, that's where it is. Nepal's so quiet and they just don't bother anybody as far as I know on the Economic Forum or any world, just in the world, they don't seem to be a bad country or anything controversial.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
Oh, it is. And it goes on and on. I guess this is showing part of the area, potentially where it came from. What else we've got going on here? I haven't seen this yet if it's been debunked, which I would be hopeful. It's hard to go ahead and get to it. I want to get to that one. Hold on. I wanted to, okay, so in the Nepal flood disaster, elephants are not rescuing people. It's stated that the video originates from a Bangla news source and that elephants do not live in the region, with rescues being carried out by Nepali army helicopters. So the story, they showed it yesterday, of elephants who were like going and rescuing people, I was like, you know what? This is just, it's too perfect and everything. It's fake. It's either faked or it didn't happen someplace else. The elephant is not coming out there with a smile to go ahead and grab the person and bring him back. Plus, the water is a lot less torrential of what's going on, but it may be that happening, but it's not from that time frame. Yeah. Brian, go ahead.
Hey, Thomas, we have a great friend here, Tia Marie. Tia, it's been a long time talking. I don't know what, how
She's been
your thoughts
off
are on
doing
that.
psychic stuff over on the TikTok world.
I know. I love Tia to death, honey. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
No, doing pretty well.
Good. I miss you guys, so I had to stop in.
Yeah, well, thank you. Appreciate you coming back and everything. We're just going through Friday Night Disclosure. Everyone seems to be out on vacation except for me.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, God, yes, I did have this on the title card. Yes, it's two. It's two. They look like such a cute couple, but they're not. Matt Brown and Jesse Michaels have gotten together for an interview. Expect a 3 to 4 to 5 hour freaking broadcast to see where this conversation goes. Now, Matthew Brown, the guy who's been behind Immaculate Constellation for the longest time, he has been breaking apart. He can see in conversations, he's clearly dealing with PTSD and a lot of internal demons he's trying to sort out. But it's really good to see him and those two with their arms around each other going ahead and being there to go ahead and make it happen. Don't forget, Jesse Michaels is close to Peter Thiel, so maybe Peter Thiel can maybe help the things that are going on with Vanguard, which is the organization that Matthew put together with Dylan Borland and others to try and bring, the whistleblowers together to, save themselves. Ryan, go ahead.
Hey, Thomas, while you're bringing up Matthew Brown, is there any way you can explain exactly what the Matthew Brown whistleblower, what exactly he brought forth? What exactly was Immaculate Constellation? I've always been confused by his whole statements.
Have you watched our hearing on that?
The hearing?
We covered the hearing when when they when Schellenberger went and testified about Immaculate Constellation and what was contained. There's like a 30-page document that was put together that had Schellenberger's name on it, that was actually produced by Jeremy Corbell working with Matthew Brown to basically break down what Immaculate Constellation was. It was a program that was put within the federal government, coming from the executive branch, to go ahead and monitor all the different communication channels within the federal government. If it's detected any kind of communication regarding a potential non-human intelligence encounter, it went and it automatically classified those documents and removed them from the channels where they were at and added those records to the executive branch library. Does that make sense?
Okay,
so it's an information gathering, filtering, and removal device that was put together by the federal government to go ahead and help better manage and control the exposure to the information that people may be unknowingly putting into the systems that shouldn't be there in the first place. I'm sure after the data was initially flagged and marked and removed, that people were probably hopefully going and re-reviewing this stuff and taking it and making the final decision based on what the AI at that time had done based on keywords, in particular other things that went along with it. Now, this is really before AI the way we know it, but the government may have had systems like that. Actually, they have had systems like that coming from providers like what is it? Not Demon. Other systems that have been out there for quantum computing that the federal government and all the different agencies, including the executive branch, have dealt with for the longest time.
Okay, that helps explain it. I've always been a little confused about it, but I guess it went to the executive
there's
branch.
a whole hearing. We've covered this in the past, and I just don't remember all of the different things. No, the moths thing, that's for the dead people. I guess the live people can be the same, but yeah, I'm kind of a light that the dead and different things kind of come to because they can see me whether I like it or not.
Yeah, I remember that hearing. It just became so much of a shit show that I just kind of avoided it. It became
Lou testified. Why was it a fucking shit show? Really?
Well, no, it was good hearing Lou and all that, but you had the whole shit going on behind the scenes with Corbell and Schmuckenberger and everybody else.
No, Schellenberger did his thing. If Nancy Mace wanted to go ahead and handle that way, she had her reasons. But you know what? Nobody has gone back and asked Nancy Mace the hard questions.
Yeah, what she did was just disgraceful.
And I have to ask why, especially from someone who I support on a fucking monthly basis or yearly basis. Ask a poll. Why haven't you gone after Nancy Mace to get a fucking answer? That's the one I think we're all waiting for. There's a bunch of other stuff, but you need to, take care of the baggage that's hanging out there and the question marks that are unanswered, and there's a ton of them.
So there were another person that was supposed to testify, but Nancy Mace stopped that from happening. So she did something very strange.
Matthew Brown was with Jeremy Corbell, and Corbell came in to interview Nancy Mace before the hearing, and he got it cleared. And then Corbell asked Nancy Mace if he would like to talk. He talked about the whistleblower and all this stuff, right? Told her the information about it that they want to bring in forward, then asked her, would you like to meet the whistleblower? And she said yes. At that point, everybody in the room who was along with Jeremy, except for the cameraman, walked out. Brown put down the camera, and he disclosed to her. Cool tactic. I love it. It worked.
Yeah, I wonder if Nancy Mace had she'd been paid off or something.
Well,
who knows? Strange. Anyway, thank you.
Not a problem. But that's an opportunity for the question to get re-asked. All right, 273 people here. I think we could go ahead and say we've had a fun time tonight, folks. Some national security actually did get a refill. I was not supposed to have a refill. Did anybody out there get a refill tonight? And I think that will be one of the last surveys for tonight.
I've had several refills tonight.
Daryl, you're fucking here. God damn it. How the hell are you?
Good. How are you guys?
You sound three. How's the wind? Is it holding up to the 3 sheets you're pushing against?
Yeah, I'm holding up. My buddy isn't, but I am.
Daryl, what's going on, Daryl?
So, nerd.
What's up? How's your trip, man?
It's good. It's good.
I bet it is.
What's the number of subscribers, Thomas?
What? Did we get any, you mean?
I don't know. Yeah. Did we get any more?
Oh, fuck. You're going to make me look and get depressed again, aren't you?
No, I don't want you depressed.
Oh, let's find out. Let's go back to the studio. Upward 18,800. We made it. How about that?
Yeah.
We made it, yeah.
Where's the confetti at? I need confetti, Thomas.
I don't have confetti. I'm sorry. But I'm
okay,
sure I could find a sound effect we could play in
There you go.
But wait a minute. I think there is a something we could use for that.
Celebration.
I'm here. Let
There
the
you go.
bells
That's
ring
good
out
enough.
and the banners fly. Feast your eyes on me. It's too good to be true, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good enough.
It's good enough. Hopefully that wasn't too loud, Daryl. Hydrate.
Congratulations, man.
You got to remember to hydrate.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk
hydrate
after.
now.
Drink water.
Yeah. There's a lot
Not
of skin
salt
out there.
water, though.
A lot of skin out there.
On that note.
Don't do too much, Daryl. I want you having a stroke out there. You know you're old man.
It is hot and humid here. I'll say that.
Hold on. Yes, that sound effect includes everything that says yes, we've had a fun time. Happy Friday, everybody. Would you look at that? We've been out for 2 hours tonight. Hopefully everybody had a good chance for national security. Let me take myself back in the studio here to go ahead and personally thank everybody for coming out to Disclosure tonight. Where in the fuck am I? I want to solo. There we go. I thank everybody for coming out. What a great show. What a great opportunity to hang out with all of you. Happy Friday. Yes, I would not miss the show. Even though there's not a lot of news going on, I am going in overtime to try and make this an enjoyable conversation. Hopefully you've enjoyed the kind of antics and stuff we've had going on here tonight. It's been a blast. And if we want to talk about a blast, we have to talk about national security. Sweaty, you just took one.
There you go.
No, the other side. There you go. Cheers, my friends. Clinky, clinky. Take your drinky. But I think Jay's got one of those too, don't you, Jay?
Come on, Joe.
We lose Jay.
Clinky, clinky, take your drinky.
There you go, my friend. Clink, clink. There you go for the audience. That means I get 2 for 1 special.
Yeah, 2 for 1.
All right. On that note, we got that done and taken away. I want to thank everybody for coming out of this episode of Disclosure today. But wait a minute. I didn't get to talk about the super chats. God damn it. What am I doing wrong? I had that music playing for a reason. Oh, God. Where in the fuck are my... Oh, live chat. I need to find my chat from the audience. There we go. All right. I want to go ahead and thank everybody who threw out some super chats tonight. Who am I talking about to help us get through the end of the year? Yeah, I bought a new Mac Studio for the production so I can do more. I've always been limited on frame rate, and now, yeah, we're going to do it. So let's go ahead and thank everybody for your super chats. I am Kron. Thank you very much. We have sweet. You need to jump in the back. We miss you, my friend. You had great conversations in the past. Peggy and Steve, all the way from Miami. Thank you very much. Love you guys. Let's thank Shlto de Puma, a god with horns, a god with hooves. Oh my God, no, that's okay. Brian Pemble, Donald Ducks. To the renaming of the Canadian geese, they shall no longer be known as Canadian geese, but as Donald Ducks. Enjoyed this so much. Thanks, Thomas, coming from Sandy Thring. Steve Mateo saying Disclosure tonight. Pizza party, absolutely. Geraldine D'Orazio wishes us national security. Cheers, my friend. And pizza. And Aliens in the Clouds podcast. For your 1800th, yeah, thank you very much for celebrating 18,800. Woohoo, we made it. Please don't unsubscribe. If you've had a good time, please subscribe. If you've been watching so long, we love you, my friends. Giving us a thumbs up, we appreciate it. And as that goes on, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Where I can kill that music now, something me. I want to thank everybody for coming out of this episode. Sweaty, thank you for the conversation.
No problem, brother. Anytime.
Yeah. And Jay, thank you for chiming in. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, as always, Thomas. Great conversation.
Yeah, don't forget, you've got your podcast, Galactic Family Podcast. Not a lot of people, but some great content, my friend.
Yeah, I do. Thank you, Thomas, for
We need
putting
to get
that
you
out
start
there.
sharing that link in the chat, and that way we can get more people to go ahead and subscribe and help you grow what you're trying to bring forward.
I
What's it
appreciate
called,
that,
Jay?
Thomas.
Yeah.
Galactic Family Podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it out.
All right.
Actually, God, Jesus Christ, I have to go work. Why not? Let's see if I can find that. I'll do the magic now. Let's get him a couple hundred subs.
Not only can we go ahead and see the
hold on a second. I'm trying to
front of the craft.
How did the fuck did I get there? I was trying to search for.
I got it.
What is it? Galactic what?
Galactic Family Podcast. I got it. And let me go ahead and share the link in the chat. Oh, look, he had our dear friend Gene was there too. Where's the chat? Where the fuck did it go? Let me go ahead and
Yes, he
share it.
definitely was. He was there a couple times.
Oh, there, yeah, he's been around here a bunch. Jesus Christ. All right. It's in the chat, folks. Please subscribe to the Galactic Family Podcast. We've put it out there for everyone to go ahead and take a look. And you know what? Let's have some fun times. I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight and Disclosure tonight. Andy, thank you for coming out as well. And don't forget, we got an hour show tomorrow, 2 hours to go ahead and watch the MP from the United Kingdom actually talk about UFOs for once in an intelligent way. How about that?
Yeah.
All
Yeah, we're gonna do
right.
that.
So
We're gonna
2
do that.
p.m. Pacific. Look forward to seeing it. As we usually say at the end of every episode of Disclosure tonight, God, I gotta piss. Eyes open, no fear, be safe, everybody. But
Go back to Party City where you belong.
absolutely, I'll catch you on the flip side. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Literally.